Captain Kris coming to you again here with some more fishing tips on dead bait fishing for snook and redfish. Got some of our favorite products and the ways we like to rig them for you and show you how we're going to do that. I'm going to start off with hook size. We try to match the hook to the size of the cut bait that we're using, and we do notice at certain times of year certain sizes tend to work better than others. Normally we're cutting those thread fins in half and using just half pieces. Every once in a while we gotta downgrade to a little bit smaller piece, and every once in a while we go to even bigger piece depending on the size of the fish that we're catching. Based on that, I'm going to first start off with the hooks that we like to use. We've got this Sure Set circle hook offset 4/0. This is my go-to size for snook and redfish for dead baiting. At times when we're noticing that hookups are just not hooking up at the ratio that we like, and we go to a smaller bait, we'll drop down to a number 2. It's the exact same hook, exact same offset, it's just a number 2. And remember, when you're using these circle hooks and you're throwing your baits out there, the biggest thing is to do nothing. Once that rod takes off and starts going, you crank to set the hook. Remember, don't set the hook. You're gonna have far more pull-offs and stuff when you're back there trying to set the hook with these circle hooks. All you want to do is reel to set the hook. Now what we rig that to is going to be a 15-pound braided or 20-pound braided line. We're typically using 8 to 17 or 10 to 20-pound class custom Kris Green fishing rods. The blanks are moderate fast that we're using. They're not extra fast and they're not real slow. We're kind of something in between, so that if we want to throw lures we can, but primarily we've Kris Green designed these rods to work really well with our dead baiting technique. So as I said, as we attach to the main line, we use our fluorocarbon, and we've been using this crystal fluorocarbon once again, St. Pete Fishing Outfitters, and 20. And if we're getting into the bigger fish and the fights are lasting longer, we'll step it up to 25. So that they're not going to wear through the leader line. And then we've noticed that when the water's really crystal clear, you got to take the chance and even sometimes drop down to 15 to get the bites. You might lose a couple of the bigger ones in the long fight, but it's better to have the shots at the fish than to have no fish at all. So we get into this real clear water in the winter, we might drop down to 15 at times. Usually 20 is the lightest that we run most of the time. And then, like I said, when we start getting into the big bruisers, we'll bounce up to 25. At times we have had to bounce up to 30, but usually you can get away with 20 or 25 if you're fishing mangroves in the flats. And you're not really fishing around any pilings or structure of that sort. I will free line those from time to time when we're getting to the bottom of the tide or the tide's not moving too much. The other option, if you're going to fish multiple people out of your boat, to keep lines from drifting into each other, you can put a small split shot about a foot up. Another way to do it is to just do a knocker rig with a 1/8 ounce egg sinker. And those are our pretty much the way we rig all of our dead baits. Now I've showed you most of the gear that we use to do this type of fishing, do the dead baiting. All of this tackle can be found at St. Pete Fishing Outfitters at any time. And if you have any questions, ask the staff there. They will be able to help you and direct you to purchase anything that you need so that you can get out here and start hooking some of these big redfish and big snook.